Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. I'm Miss Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I regret being over 35, single, and childless. Let's get it.
Hello. So this video is for my over 35s who are single and don't have kids. If you're not that, you can still watch, but you probably won't be able to relate and might ask me some not ridiculous, but some random questions in the comments and I won't feel like answering. So I am in a hotel. I plan on posting this video when I post my vlogs about my little California trip. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. If you watch those, you'll know I was wearing this shirt for like 2 days because I didn't take a shower. Well, I did, but this is in the, anyway. So anyway, I'm in this hotel and the hotel is filled for some reason with kids, even though it's like mid-October. I was a teacher for a long time and I was a child once, and my parents just never took us on trips at this time of the year. And also when I was teaching, I always thought that it was like really weird when a kid would go on a vacation at this time of year. But nevertheless, that is something families do, and there are kids and parents all over this hotel. Now here's the thing. As a 38-year-old woman who is not married and doesn't have kids, but at one point did think that that's what her life was going to look like, most of the time I'm like, okay, you know, that's just not the life that was meant for me. That's fine. But nothing makes me feel more isolated and more behind in life than when I see everyone who is my age with their spouse, their children, especially when I see the dads. Like, I'll see a guy and I know we're around the same age, and my brain naturally is like, oh, you know, man, your age, he's attractive.
Okay.
But then right after him comes his 14-year-old, his 10-year-old, his, but you know, just tons of kids, and then his wife comes out. And yeah, they might look exhausted, they might look, you know, I don't know, overwhelmed. But the big part is that during this stage in their life, they're doing what I feel I was supposed to be doing. But I never met the person, nothing happened. And now I can't see myself wanting to get pregnant or wanting to put in the effort that I did before. I don't know if you can relate to that, where like before you hit 35, you were willing to put in all this effort to find someone. And now I'm just like, no, I'm not interested in having a baby in my 40s. I'm not interested. Like, I'm just, you know, I'm like half completely over it and half like, what might have been. But when I see things like this, I'm just reminded that for most people my age, they've moved on. They're in this new stage of life that I'll never go into. And it just makes me feel really isolated and kind of behind. Anyway, if you can relate to that, I'd love to hear about it. Yeah.
Wow. Guys, we've got another woman here who regrets not capitalizing on finding a husband while she was young. Now, this lady looks familiar. I can't remember what video I've actually seen her on in the past, but she looks familiar. But guys, this video has nothing to do with this woman in particular. It has more to do with the fact that more women today have this as their reality, their future reality. Coming up fast, not slow. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts that over half of women between the ages of 25 to 40 will be single by 2030. They all have this to look forward to. And the question is, if this is the product of modern women, maybe that will be the time they'll realize that, wait, hold on, maybe the female empowerment agenda was wrong. I mean, really think about this, guys. What are the products of being a successful woman in our day and age who is independent, alone at 38 years old? She talks about feeling isolated. She talks about feeling like she's missed a whole other phase of life. And again, I always say this. Why don't women like this encourage other women to snap out of it, to embrace the possibility of motherhood sooner than later? Because there's another point in there that she made that I thought was really interesting and telling. Men usually get shamed for admitting that they would rather deal with the younger women. But in this video, she described exactly why men would rather deal with younger women. She said, at the age I'm at now, I don't even want to put effort in having a kid. I don't want a kid. I used to want to get married, but I just don't have, she doesn't have the motivation to put in the effort for that type of relationship, for a family. This right here, what she said, is exactly why men would rather deal with younger women. They still have the zest for life in them. They're not kind of beat down by life's experiences. They're not open to the alternative of dying alone. That doesn't seem like, I'll just be by myself. That's not an option to them. So because it's not an option to them at that moment, they're willing to fight for relationships a lot harder than older women are. As always, the internet reacted to this lady's TikTok. Let's check out these comments and see what people had to say. First comment comes from a woman and it reads, "I feel the same. 36, not married, no kids, and always wanted that life. It gets sad sometimes, especially holiday season. Keep your head up, girl," with 14 likes. So we have another woman here who regrets being 36 and unmarried. But guys, think about this. Were these women singing the same tune when they were 23, 24, 25? I assure you they weren't. I assure you they were regurgitating the same single independent women BS that we hear on a consistent basis from young women today. Next comment here from another woman reads, "Totally can relate. 38, no kids and not married, but you are not left behind," in quotations, "because you were right where you were supposed to be." Are you? And guys, I'm not here to say that, your life is completely over as a woman if you don't have a family. I just think it's harder, especially for women who don't capitalize on finding a husband when they're younger. I mean, is that the ideal situation for women? Because most women today think so. Why? Because that's where majority of them are obviously headed. We've got another comment here that reads, "At some point I wanted the same things and now I don't know. I can't have kids now, but it's hard to date. I don't relate to my peers anymore." Jeez. Sounds like winter has already arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Next comment here reads, "I can relate, but wasn't over it until early 40s. But I still feel behind or out of place sometimes. It's like there's this lost life I can't find." Another woman here says, "There are people with both husband and kids and they hate it. Just do what makes you happy instead of what society say you should have to be happy." And it's this type of thinking of do whatever makes you happy in the moment and not actually look at your life from a long-term perspective. It's this type of thinking that got majority of these women in the exact same situation that they're in. Another comment here from another woman reads, "Girl, yes, I'm 36 and have been married for 3 years. My husband and I don't have kids." She responded back to her own comment and said, "My age or older, that 1 hasn't been married for 10 plus years or 2 doesn't have less than 3 kids. Another woman responded to that chick and said, "It's weird, right? This video is about being in environments where you don't feel like you're normal. You can be anyone and have those feelings." Yeah, really interesting video there. Curious to know what you guys think. As always, leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.